Day everyone. So today is gonna be another backtesting session. Honestly, it's been a while. Since I did a backtesting session in our recent videos. You might have watched the reality check. So the importance of systems. And yeah, I just really wanna have this backtesting session with y'all because I want y'all to see again, like always my goal, just to see my thought process. And somehow you have someone to resonate with, strategy that is, not like a guru style, but like a strategy that actually works and, the data can prove it. And I'm not here to like try to say, oh, this is the only strategy that works because at the end of the day, every strategy works. It's always upon your psychology and your discipline, The psychology is good, your risk management is good. And with like, a decent win rate with the decent RR strategy would, end up still be profitable. It's not about the strategy, guys. Take note of that. It's not always about the strategy. So I just want y'all to see, my thought processes, how I'm able to follow my systems day in and day out, and how discipline paved the way to attain such, you know, milestones in life. Anyways, this proceed on this backtesting session. Currently, we are at October 2 right now. Probably in your last video, you watched like August price action. And August was decent. Actually, it was a rough start, but I was able to end the month, hella green. September was, a mid-month. Uh, low-key break even. I was just only up 2%. But if you're gonna looking at the 2%, it's not that big. But if you're looking at 50K, 100K, 150K, 200K accounts, a fifth, being up 2% is not a, life-changing amount of money. But if you, X that to an X amount of accounts, starts to be a hefty amount of money. Anyways, so on this currently October 2, and we have red folder news by 10 a.m. So this is good. It's not a no news Monday. Is it equal lows? No, relatively equal. But currently with this, what I'm seeing the price action at. So let's go to 4 hour first. It's actually kind of like it was taken out, but it's like still relatively equal. So draw is still going lower. We're respecting bearish feeder raise here, but we're just respecting here internally, and we were displacing on lower time frame period, right? I mean, like lower time frame. Delivering from this low right here, which is a major low. I'm leaving bearish, however, we're still be bearish. I just want this 4 hour to low to get taken out. And for me to validate that is if we reject from this hourly gap here. Yeah, if we reject there, I'm gonna go lower. If we just pump higher, then obviously I'm wrong on that. This could just pump here lower. Look, no, it did the opposite. All right, it's like little jewelry right here. So we actually might expect us to go higher. Yeah, we are going higher. Or we have you open another fire. I'm just gonna chill at this point. We just blasted these highs. That was actually the case. We just blasted those highs. So the hourly here isn't us, isn't really respected. And did we have an S&P at this 15-minute low? Actually, yes, it's a lot lower. But I'm leading bullish right now because that's what the market is presenting. So this is the buy side here, actual major high, and we still have this until the hourly over here on this leg right here. So I see us still going higher until, I'm sorry, until we reject that hourly gap and feel it. So we feel this hourly right here. Yeah, we rejected that hourly. We good. I mean, not necessarily reject. Let's see here. Do we get inverse to the upside? No. So it's quite unlike the price action so far. I don't see anything significant. Anything on this leg is not takeable. I mean, I'm not ever gonna take it. If I did take this inversion right here, which I won't. So let's say, I really had strong conviction. I would get stop rated. Um, this one, what I'm seeing here, we might just manipulate this 15 minute and actually go lower. I mean, actually go higher from that point. But I can also take mech shorts toward that, like enter here with a really, really, really tight stop just to get 1-1, like something like this. Really mech shorts, but I won't take it. But the narrative is there with the highest time conversion. But we're so close to the buy side that I don't see reasoning why we go lower. But currently, we're actually respecting this hourly gap, so kind of clear at the moment. But we're clearly respecting this hourly gap. So I mean, actually take these shorts. However, if I take shorts, like on the 5 minute, like actual 5 minute, I think one on one is still good. All right, I'm just gonna go break even at the 15 minute low. I think it's a type of trade. That's I think. I'm pretty sure there's a type of trade that is meant to be taken. It's just we can definitely reject this 15 minute, and I don't want to target this already existing targets on the downside just because we didn't really have that much confirmation set. And the 15 minute wasn't only a 15 minutes, also an hourly gap. Oh, is it? Wait. No, I'm freaking. It's only a 15 minute right here. So I'm gonna go break even at this 15 minute because we can definitely reject on the 15 minute, but this inversion is something that, um, I'm willing to take with a really tight stop that was just on the body high, just to give us some room on our, entry. But I'm going break even at this 15-minute low and getting a 1-on-1. So I'll explain this before I take the trade. So why am I taking this short? Initially, I was pretty hesitant with it because we're really close to this high, so I don't see us rejecting. But obviously, this hourly gap was holding. This hourly gap is still holding. At this point on, it's not necessarily disrespected because this hourly close wasn't really strong. You could actually look at the close of it. It closed below equilibrium, so we are still respecting, better order flow. But this is more like um short-lived shorts. Why? Because it's just 15 minutes. You can just easily reject at this 15 minutes. Let's say go lower and just go higher at that point, right? So and just like take advantage of liquidity, getting this, pretty much like relatively equal highs here, and long just looks much better from that point. However, it's a type of trade I'm really willing to take, but really just short-lived because on that hourly, if time frame alignment, an hourly feeder ray matched with like a 5 minute confirmation is just so perfect, and we had this perfect 5 minute inverse, which is also inverse is the highest, the first percentage here in the 3 minutes. So everything aligns itself. Hence, I'm willing to take this. So let's go for just 1% risk on this trade. This is 1%. Oh, that's well above 50%. I mean, 1% risk. So what is, 50 divided by 3? You go 50 divided by 3 is like pretty much like 15, 30, 45. You can say 15 because it's slightly above um one five right there or 3%. So this will give us, slightly under a percent. All right, so let's take this trade. Actually, let's screenshot this first. So that's my thought process there. Let's see the outcome of this trade. We're gonna get stopped out right away. All right, we actually get stopped out. Not stop rated, did we? All right, so get stopped out there though. All right, so we actually failed to take this 15-minute low. So actually, for me, that was a good loss. That was a good loss. It just, they didn't really anticipate that we're just gonna reject off of that right away. With this displacement to the downside of the 5 minute inverse, it wasn't like stingy type of inverse. It's pretty good. Yeah, this was a good loss here. I really want to just take max shorts with the tighter stop, but nonetheless, I would still get stopped out, I think. Because my break even was at 15-minute low. Yeah, I would end up getting stopped out on a tighter stop. So I would say this is, a really clean loss for me. The narrative was there. Though the narrative for me, honestly, is I want to go higher. But this hourly rejection with a 5 minute confirmation is just a type of trade I'm willing to take day in and day out. I think it's a clean loss, in my opinion. So that's gonna be it for this episode. It wasn't a great start on the month. It's always like that for some reason. Like start of the months are usually not as good for me. Because maybe it's just more psychological, because I always end the month green, end the month, in a in a win streak, and we just have to balance that statistics. Um, you're not gonna always have, the winning statistics on your side. Obviously, try to always play within that probability because if you follow the system 100% of the time, you will have an X amount of win rate or an X amount of probability on winning a certain trade. In this case, I have over 70% of winning a trade, and this is just types of those trades that I'm just gonna get chopped off. But then honestly, in hindsight, mechanical wise, it looks pretty good. But if you would look at the market condition, it was quite choppy, but the 5 minute inversion was with intent. That's why I did validate despite choppy market condition. We also had a 10 a.m. PMI, which was actually a data low as well over here. So the data low was actually taken. So like data high was taken out, data low was still here. Gives this type of trade a really high probability to work. Even it's a Monday, there's a red folder. It just didn't seem to quite work, but I just logged this loss real quick. Again, um, the type of trade I would take again, it's more of an A minus, but I'm willing to take this type of trade. Again, they didn't have the perfect placement or delivery, but the intent was there. And for me, intent is really a huge thing. And yeah, timing wise, I took this 10-15 onwards. So trade direction, I got literally stopped out. Yeah, technically my entry was here. So I was topped out in four candles. So it's gonna be all for today's episode, particularly here in October's price action. And hope you learned a lot on, why I took this trade with conviction and how to react in certain losses because doesn't mean you're losing is, you're already doing something bad. P&L doesn't necessarily correlate with your performance or trading performance. If your P&L is your identity, that's just not great for psychology. Neither this game is for you. All right, you need to handle everything good enough. So it's gonna be all for this for today's episode, and I'm always here reminding y'all that every time you follow your system, you will be rewarded. Every time you disobey it, you will be punished. And that's all for today's video, guys. Hope you learned a lot.